Hello. Is my voice okay,
Linda
Ad?
Kurt, you're beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening. I was cleaning and listening. It's weird because I was just over on IPS's server. I did a deep dive. Well, not a complete deep dive, but I did a deep dive into what the number 60 means with the 60, 60, 60 that everybody's saying now because that guy got shot 60 times in one of these recent psyops or whatever. So I started considering the biblical script, right?
Yeah.
Which that's kind of where everything leads back to. So I was looking up, I was considering the fact that the generations in the Bible were like 900 to 1,000 years, right?
Yes.
And that's why God says
the
one
longest,
day to.
The longest lived man is Methuselah at 969 years. So
Right. Right, but what I was getting to is one day to God is 1,000 years, right? That's basically a generation. So our generations are 90 years, basically. But each generation is 10 years, a decade, for them to manipulate the minds.
Yeah.
So I got to looking back, and I found that NOAA, NOAA, the National Oceanic,
yes,
whatever was discovered.
That's just a coincidence.
Yeah, but it was formed in 1970. So that would be the first day of creation, because if you look back at Genesis, the first day of creation was actually a flood because God separated the waters from the waters. So it was automatically a flood. So then, I started looking into all this. So, and in 1977 or 1970s, you had Watergate, which is also a flood.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 2020. 2020 would be the sixth day, which would be Adam and Eve were created. And what do we have now? Ab's favorite, transgender. So Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's unreal that they follow it so deeply. And I think they do this.
But you do agree that it's followed, yeah?
Yes.
On this, we're not arguing.
But I'm not saying that they didn't write it either.
No, nor am I.
You see what I mean? Because I think that probably is the case, that they wrote it for their generations of bloodlines or whatever you want to say they are to follow. And they just recreate the script in a modern way, in the modern day that they're creating it in.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
I am 100% in agreement with you. What I'm suggesting to you is they definitely are following this script. They either wrote it or think it's true.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you take, like, I know that you consider the Bible to be, and in a way, I do agree with you that it's the best explanation, right? I do agree with that, but I don't agree that it's literal. It's fluid. You see what I mean? Because they create the script as they go along. And I think they recreate the 7 days of creation as they go along. I mean, I think that's what I'm delving into right now. So, and then they probably rest. And, that's when we get everything's content for like 10 years and everybody's happy or not completely happy, but content. And then they bring out the first day of creation again and do it all over again and just, cause chaos. Which, I mean, if you read Genesis through, the Old Testament or whatever, it basically is pure chaos. You know what I mean? Everybody's fighting. God's just bringing down the wrath on everybody because they're not following his commands and, all this just pure chaos.
Depending on, where you come from in your, in what the reasons were, I guess in my view, that God was really upset with the fact that some of his angelic host popped down and shagged, the hot earth girls. And
yeah, but if God is the power structure, that would make perfect sense because they didn't stay within their bloodlines. They outbreeded, which I think we see today.
Yes.
We see all the scandals in the news and everything else where, they don't adhere to their own laws that they have within their own bloodlines. And they get into all kinds of trouble. And I think that's what that's telling us is that those are the stars, the gods,
yes,
that are coming down to breed with us, petty humans.
Yeah, but
like Michael Jackson, all the stories that you hear of. Elon Musk apparently has a couple twins from somebody back in like 2002 or something. That kind of stories. I think that's what they're relaying because they're the stars. You see what I mean?
But the
The stars
is,
in Hollywood.
Do you think we would be advantaged or disadvantaged by following the 10 Commandments?
I don't really have a view on that because I think your commandments are within, not without. You see what I mean? It's like either you're born with certain things or you're not. And some people don't have them. Like some people will cheat, lie, steal from birth to death. You see what I mean? They're never going to change. And I think all those people are here. We just don't fit into that. But I've considered this a lot as far as if everybody could have one objective set of laws that they could follow, and I don't believe that's so because they come from internally, in my opinion. Like you're either going to kill people or you're not.
But that is the biblical story that the laws of God are written in your heart.
Yeah, it is. But there's also another aspect to it of survival. And if you put survival in the mix, you may do all those 10 commandments to survive. You see what I mean? Like because that's the nature of nature itself. I mean, just look at the animals and things like that. They're going to go for survival no matter what it takes. And I think man's the same way if you're put in that position.
So what if like me, you don't, well, I guess I don't believe in nature as such, but let me go back a step. Do you agree at the moment that the laws that are being promulgated, or whatever you want to call them, the regulations, are harmful for people?
I don't think they're harmful, but they're not beneficial either. You see what I mean? Because when say thou shalt not kill. That's bringing about all this vegan stuff. You see what I mean? Because
the laws that are coming in now are thou shalt kill. You can't stop. Well, sorry, they've been in. They seem to be under. I'm not quite sure what's going on at the moment, and I'll be interested in talking to you about that. But the laws that have been allowed is that, when I was a child, for example, homosexuality was just absolutely illegal. So my childhood, for want of a better word, had rules and regulations which, to a large extent, followed the 10 Commandments, at least in the, thou shalt not kill. Adultery was kind of pretty much frowned on. There wasn't divorce. In fact, when I was a child, the divorce was not really possible unless you had a lot of money. And certainly abortion was, that wasn't a thing at all. Homosexuality, definitely not. But, they all still worked for other people and broke all sorts of laws in that way. But now the rules are clearly the reverse of what was happening when I was a child. Which do you think has been more favourable to
I'm just going to put this out there because the laws have always been layered.
Oh, they have.
Because thou shalt not kill may have not applied to the peasantry of the class, but it always applied to the governments and military. Always. They could kill whenever. So it's always been layered. The power structure has always not followed the 10 Commandments. You see what I mean? They impose them on us.
So I'm going to argue that what they did was trick people to kill. I'm going to argue that.
No, they probably did trick people to kill, but I'm just saying that trickery is basically being duped, and they're not victims. Because I've gotten into these conversations with people before too about, they're victims, and it's like, no, they chose because they actually deep down wanted to kill somebody for revenge.
Yes.
Like you see what I mean? It's like.
But what I want to suggest here is that people have believed, wrongly in my opinion, that governments have the power to compel them to go to war.
Oh yeah.
And
but I mean, I don't think like after 2001, right?
Yeah.
We all know what that was. There was so many people that just volunteered to go either back into the military or for the first time. Because they wanted revenge.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that those people were given permission to go and break the commandments.
Yes, but they always have, even back in World War I, World War II. They've always been given that permission to go kill.
To go and kill, yeah.
And it puts them above the peasantry of
but I don't think
our class. Yeah.
I don't think that the upper class or any actually did any killing. They basically have.
Oh no, they never get their hands dirty.
They never get their hands dirty.
We agree on that. Yep.
And so it's like a license to drive a car or anything. These really are instruments of death.
Yeah, but
you're being given permission to kill.
Yes, but with a license to marry, you're given a license to commit adultery.
Correct.
You see what I mean? It's like
I do.
all the licenses. I don't believe in any licenses.
No, all the licenses.
I mean? Like all of them. Yeah.
All of the licenses are actually simply there to get you to break the sins. You're given license, which is.
Yeah, but I don't believe in sin the way you do either, because a sin.
Well, to me, a sin is simply breaking one of the commandments of the Creator.
No, I think
it's just breaking one of the commandments.
No, that's a sin to me is breaking one of your own commandments that you create within your own self. You see what I mean? And because we create our own commandments. So if we every New Year's is a ritual, right? Sirius the Dog Star is the ball in New York City and all that stuff.
Satanic ritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but it gives you
license.
But it gives you the opportunity to recreate your new commandments for the new year. And of course, everybody breaks them. Everybody.
Yes. So my view is, and we've discussed it before, that we are not capable in our own right of judging good and evil.
And absolutely. And I don't even know that good and evil actually exist in the way they say it does either. You see what I mean?
Well, in fact, I'm certain that it does not exist because simply for these reasons. The Bible says that we were never designed for that. We were made to we had to follow 2 commandments. Don't eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. And in fact, there was only one commandment, wasn't it? Just don't eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, don't find out any information other than what the power structure gives you, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
You'll survive. Yep.
Yeah. And instead, the gift of Satan is to have all this knowledge about what good and evil is. And what good has it done us?
Yeah, but see, I don't believe Satan is a real entity or anything like that. I just think it's going against the power structure. That's the Satan.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my original question. Without the 10 Commandments, go back to the other way. I'm going to suggest to you that I think living by the 10 Commandments will result in a better life for everybody.
Yeah, but then I just probably don't agree with that, because if how are you going to make that happen for everybody without some kind of power structure to make them adhere to it? See what I mean?
I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying, because that's the whole point of all this stuff, is that we have a choice. The choice we are given is to follow the 10 Commandments or not.
Yeah, but the people who follow them stay within their own internal 10 Commandments, basically.
But so your view is that if we make up our own 10 Commandments, we're better off than following the biblical 10 Commandments. And why do you think that?
Just because, okay, say you're a cheater, right?
You're talking about shagging a woman that you're not married to.
Yeah. I think once you do that, you will probably always do that. I've known of quite a few people that have, but I think that's not one of their internal commandments, right? But they seem to be doing okay because they follow the other ones, like thou shalt not kill, or, thou shalt not harm anybody, that kind of thing, or whatever. But like I said, I don't think there's a complete set of 10 commandments for each person that's the same.
Well,
and I don't think that.
So the original 10. So again, this is really the original 10 Commandments is that thou shalt not cover thy master's wife. It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's like, okay, to me that puts you in a like your master would be the power structure itself, or your job, or your
adultery.
Adultery
is actually working for someone. So that's another strange thing. Adultery means to take employment as a slave, effectively.
Yeah, so the whole 10 Commandments, I think, are just guidelines of internal self governance. You see what I mean?
Well, I guess I'm going to say to you that if we had the right, if people weren't deceived, the commandments would be easy, a very light yoke. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but you get into, if people weren't deceived, I think a lot of people want to be deceived because they don't want to do the work themselves internally. You see what I mean? They would rather turn their whole life over to somebody else. And this is why I have a problem with religions, because they turn their whole life over to Jesus instead of doing the internal work themselves.
And I also have a problem with religions.
Yeah, I know you do. So, we agree on so many things.
Yeah, so it's really the question simply remains to me is, are the models that you're adopting, I'm wanting to follow up with you, the ideas that you're putting forward here, how do you apply them in your life, and what's your view of their effectiveness?
I basically have one rule, and that is to not purposely harm another thing. Like, I mean, I know I'm harming my garden when I go to pick it and, dig it up when it's done. You know that thing? I mean, I understand that, but I'm respectful of what they gave me all throughout the growing process. You see what I mean?
Do you feel bad about killing a plant?
I don't feel bad. I'm respectful and grateful for what that plant gave me during its life. And I'm that way with humans too. You see what I mean? Like,
so how is that making your life better?
It just puts me at ease that I'm not sinning. I'm not doing anything wrong. This is the way life is. Life and death, birth and death. I mean, this is the cycle of life for everything. So
how, which, there doesn't appear to be any contradiction between what you're doing and what the Bible requests, what seeks you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, no, not necessarily. I mean, there really is no difference, but I mean, I just don't follow the Bible as word for word. This is what I should follow. I study the Bible just to relate it to what I can find true in real life. You see what I mean? Because a lot of the Bible, I mean, most of the Bible is just metaphor. It's metaphor for real life. What somebody thought in their head was real life, and they put it in stories to hide it, basically.
So what's an example of a metaphor in your case, in your mind, in the Bible?
I would say, I mean, everything like Moses and the law. It's not only metaphor for the power structure bringing down laws to man, it's also metaphor for us bringing down laws to ourselves. And it's also metaphor for us getting jealous of the laws that we bring down to ourselves because we break them and we get mad and take it out on somebody else because we broke our own internal laws. And I mean, how many times have we probably done that in our lifetime? Like when you get mad at somebody, it's probably not because you're mad at them. You're mad at yourself and you're projecting it. You see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So, I mean, that's the way I kind of read the Bible. And there's a lot of truth in there as far as the metaphors go to your own self.
So you essentially are following the Bible then?
Well, I'm not following it. I just see the comparisons. I don't follow it. I'm not. I don't say the Lord's Prayer every day. I don't have to do that because I know in my own life that if I'm truly needing something, it will be given if I deserve it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to say, no one says you have to do anything. That is the message of the Bible, isn't it?
Yeah, but you act like you follow the Bible intensely. And see, I don't. I just do comparisons.
Follow the Bible intensely. What is it when you say that? I mean, what is it that I have said that says I followed the Bible intensely? I'd like to.
Well, just because you say the Lord's Prayer every day, yes. And I mean,
more than once a day. I repeat it regularly.
But you follow the words, and to me, like in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That's the power structure giving you language to tell you what you are going to do for the rest of your life or whatever. And if you take that a step higher, and in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and God is the whole power structure of the creation itself, then there is no words because there's only life. That's the word. You see what I mean? It's a vibration. It's the vibration of everything living that was created. So you have to, I just look at it as the layers of it. And if you're following the words in the Bible, then you're not following the life of the creation itself, which is the truth of this reality. You see what I mean? I mean, I know that's kind of confusing, but I mean, that's kind of the way I see it. And once you realize that, you don't have to follow any words. You just can see for yourself.
Okay. So your view is that you will be protected from evil without praying.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying I'm protected from evil. I'm saying that.
Well, do you even think evil exists? I should ask that question.
No,
first.
I don't think evil exists. I think life is what it is, and sometimes
you don't need protection.
Sometimes bad things happen to good people. You see what I mean? There's no explanation for that other than that's just life the way it is.
But what is a good people?
Everybody's good people, in my opinion. It's just the way things are. It's like if you go watch, rabbits.
Your view, I've actually got to get a bit, so I'm being a bit naughty here, expediting this. Your view is that there are no bad people, and operating in that way has been helpful for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, say you watch a rabbit family in the forest, right? And they're all going around happy and everything else, and then all of a sudden a coyote comes up and kills two of them. They're not happy anymore. That's life. They weren't protected. You see what I mean? They weren't protected from life itself. But I'm saying that in my experience over the years of my life, that if I truly needed something, say a job or money or something to survive, I was given an opportunity. And it doesn't mean that I was handed something on a silver platter either. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had to work for it, but I was given an opportunity that may have not been there before.
Yeah.
And I think, but I'm not protected. I mean, I could go out to my mailbox today and get hit by a car. I'm not protected because life is life. And that's just kind of the way I see it.
Okay. And so my view is that life is not just life at all. And that's,
yeah, but when I mean,
I think
life is magical. There's magic in life itself. I think we would agree on that there's something in the background of life that comes and goes and gives us opportunities or lessons or enlightenment or something, right?
Yes. And
it's in the background, right?
And what I think happens is that magic
to say that but to say that you're protected because you believe a certain way, I think is a big stretch, because then it puts you in a higher class, which I don't think anybody is.
So I don't think it's because I believe a certain way. It's because I take a certain action, a particular action.
But still, a lot of people has taken the same action you do, but yet they're still dead at an early age.
I don't know that. Who were those people?
Well, I mean, I've known a lot of people. I was raised in the church, as you know, well know.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was a lot of people who actually, would stand up and testify, and they were such good people, but yet they had all these things come to make them suffer.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? So, I mean, that's what life is, in my opinion. You have to survive the suffering that this life gives you. And you can watch that in nature itself. I mean, nature is a powerful thing. And I mean, you might see an animal with a bad leg, but it's going to survive till it's time for it not to survive anymore. It's just a survival thing. And you can watch that with humanity.
Yeah. So they're interesting things. So I don't think that nature is a thing, as we've talked about. Nature
Well,
is...
I'm just saying it's all of creation, because I'm including it all in the one, right? Like the plants, the trees, the animals, everything living that wasn't created by man, right? To me, I'm encompassing all that in nature, because it's the only word that I can best describe it. You see what I mean? We have to use their words.
Well, I just call it creation.
Yeah, creation. That's fine. I agree.
Yeah, and I don't think we're the hue of a man. I think we're men or women. I think those
we're
terms of being
more.
the hue of a man.
Yeah, but I think we're more than man. That's kind of where that logic came from. Because we're physical, but we're non-physical at the same time. You see what I mean? And we're a vibration. We're
yes,
all sorts of things. Just as plants and animals and the stars and moon and everything else, they're the exact same we are. And when the Bible says we're made in God's creation or God's image, it doesn't mean we're physically just like that thing. It's just we have the same aspects of that thing.
But why we don't know that, do we? Do we know that we're not made in God's image?
Well, I would think so, because if you look at the whole of creation, nothing is alike. We're individuals, so we're just a higher species than an ant, because we're bigger. That's it. But we have the same aspects. Because I mean, if you watch ants, they do what they're supposed to do. And humans don't do what they're supposed to do unless they're told by the power structure, because humans are more free than any other part of the creation.
Well, I think
we're free to roam. We don't have to do our set routine every day. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what humans do, but I think living men and women are different to humans. Humans are the hue of a man.
I don't even know if I agree with human as a term. You know what I mean? But I don't agree with man and woman either. I just think that we are us. I mean, if you look at how your mom and dad created you, you are both male and female aspects of them. So how can you say, yes, your physical attributes are man or male or female, but internally you're both? You would have to be.
No, I don't think any of that's true at all, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I don't see, if you get part from your mom and part from your dad, how can you not be part of both? You can't just separate and say, okay, I'm going to get rid of dad. I'm going to be part of mom, or I'm only part of dad because I'm male, and just to heck with my mom, all the attributes that she gave me. I think that's
I don't think that's what sex assignation is about. You do, of course, you get half of you from your mother and half of you from your father, but you are a man or a woman.
Yeah, but that's the terms they gave us. You see what I mean? That's their word.
Who is they?
And that's the God, the power structure. They created Adam and Eve, and they gave us male and female. And I tried to get rid of all of that programming and just look at it as discovering it again all by myself, which is hard to do, by the way.
Sure, but why? What is it about?
Yeah, but the natural thing is.
Sorry, how are you helped? What was the question? By not thinking of yourself as a woman.
It's not that I don't think of myself as a woman. I don't think of myself as. I try not to think of myself as anything but an individual.
But if you're saying
yes, I'm attracted.
If you're saying to me that you're either you are thinking of yourself, it's a one stater. Either you are thinking of yourself as a woman or you're not. Which is it?
I'm more thinking of myself as Baphomet. You see what I mean? It's like all aspects of me doesn't just lead me to believe I'm female.
So my question was, how does it help you? Why is that a more effective?
Because it helps me accept me for all my aspects that they told me were wrong. Like, you can't get angry. You can't get, you can't have an opinion. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Who told you those things?
Just the media, the education system, everything in your life has always told you that social norms are supposed to be ruling over you instead of you. You see what I mean? And I think male and female is one of the social norms. And I think that's what all this transgender thing is about. It's metaphor.
Yeah, so that I've got to go to bed, but I think you have uncovered a very important topic. You think that being male and female is a process of normalization not related to the facts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We should definitely take that topic up another time, because obviously I don't think what you're saying is correct. And so it'd be
maybe
fun
when
to explore that with you.
When you wake up later, I'll still be awake and we can do this again and continue.
Unfortunately, yes, but it will have to be in 2 weeks, because I'm going to jump in the car tomorrow morning and go on a trip, as in New Zealand say.
Good for you.
Thank you. And I'll bid you a good night.
All right.